Okay, there we go. Okay, welcome everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning. Let me make sure my volume is up enough. That probably sounds better now, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get it too loud, but good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. It's Monday, and on Saturday, I did an impromptu and worked on another version of my red panda. I'll call it a red panda fox because it's kind of like a combination. And of course, I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish it. And so I'm going to finish this one. I'm going to finish this one up on one recording. And then I think I'm going to do another recording. And then we have the options of the peacock poster, which if y'all turn it sideways so you can see how big it is. It is 18 by 24, I think. And then, or we can do a page in the Game of Thrones. So, because I got this one too. I got this one, I think, Saturday. And I gotta say, I've never watched the show. I haven't read the books. I have no idea what colors they're supposed to be. I'm sure there's specific colors to each one of the crests and the house of whatever throne. I'm sure they all have their specific colors. I have no idea what they are. I'm the boss of my color book. I will color them any way I want. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here. A foxy red panda. There we go, Carrie. I'll write that down because I like that. Let's find a pencil here. Put that on the back. Foxy red panda. Because it's kind of a combination. It's kind of a combination. So, hope the, come on back to mama. There we go. You like the peacock? Yeah, everybody's like it. I maybe I'll do a little bit of each, because I'm not going to be able to finish either one. I won't be able to finish either one completely. So I can, work a little on each. So anyway, there we go. There's the light right there. I bought it too. Never saw a show or read the books either. Okay, so we can all color it any way we want. It's not that I mean I'm more one to want to read the books rather than the show, but then the shows always ruin it for me. I mean, it's like you get something in your head when you read a book. Like I read Outlander like 20 years ago. And then, I mean, I gotta say, just me personally, I was disappointed in the show. I mean, I know there's people that love it, and I'm not dissing on it. It's just, I personally enjoyed the books. There's like eight of them or something. I don't remember how many, but anyway, I guess I just like books better than the movies or TV shows. Okay, so anyway, we'll get started here. Yeah, I think so too. The only thing that I've ever seen, and of course there could be others since then. I'm talking a long time ago. I'm talking the 70s here. The only book that I've ever read where the TV show or movie was comparable to the book was The Godfather. That was, I mean, that they scripted that out just like I mean, that was amazing that they did that. But other than that, I don't think I've ever read a book that the TV show or movie was better. That's just me. I'm not saying they're not out there. Don't email me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put out a little bit of orange and brown because I am going to have to tweak some of this. If y'all remember on Saturday, if you were here, if you watched the recording, I had not finished the fur yet, and and technically speaking, I would not want to do all this white whiskerage before doing all the back fur, the background fur, but I wanted, before the show ended, just to kind of show some of the how I do the fur and the little, I should say, the wild hairs. But if I was just doing it without streaming, I would not have put those on yet because it still needs more fur detail in there. So we're going to go ahead and start on this. I'm just going to dampen a brush And I think I'm just going to start with a little bit of brown, and I want a very dry brush. And when I just get the brush wet and then I damp it off to really get almost all the excess out, unless I'm going to water something down like a wash or something. Otherwise, I really want a dry brush when I'm doing the fur. So it's very dry brush. Now I probably am going to have to go back over some of these hairs. Again, you can't really go in between those white hairs, those wispy hairs. You can't really go back in between those. So I'd rather just go ahead and paint over them and re-put them in. Pt2 never saw show around book either. So hi Cable Claire. Anybody else popping in? So I'm just all I do is want to put some more like very dry paint. I'm barely touching, and I'm just going to go in here and put in some more little hairs, fur. So I'm going to have to go over those white long hairs that I did with my liner brush. So I don't want to spend a lot of time. I want to spend about an hour. I want to try to finish this up in an hour. At least to my satisfaction. I don't know that it will be to everybody else's satisfaction, but I'm going to try to work, get it done in about an hour here. We spent, I think, 3 hours on it on Saturday or close to. Hey, Lynn, good to see you. So, again, after we do this, we'll start another, we'll either do the peacock poster or start it, or the Game of Thrones color book. Everybody's like really liking the color book, so I'm kind of trying to do stuff that, because I do what I want to do all the time. So when I'm streaming, I don't mind, doing a few things that, everybody else wants to see too. So I'm just kind of making them a little furrier. And then we'll go back in and re-put all those liner hairs that I might be covering up. And this is just acrylic craft paint. And again, this is the continuation of the impromptu I did on Saturday. And the weather has changed, so my throat, of course, is... Okay, so he's going to have a little bit of a furry hand here sitting on top of this. And he's got little gear hands. And I thought about putting some goggles on him too, like some green goggles, but I'm not really wanting to look really steampunk. I mean, he's going to have gear claws, but that doesn't mean he has to be a steampunk foxy red panda. So I'm just flicking out some little fur there. Can you see that? I hope. I got very dry paint. So if you have any questions, put them in caps so I know you're talking to me. I've been here about 20 minutes, but I just started recording. And again, continuing to want to finish this up from Saturday's show. So I'm just and I'm not doing a background on this like I did on my first original one because I want to be able to do more things with it, maybe some text and stuff. So I need some black paint too. So I'm going to not do a background on him. I am going to do some water down here, but that's it. All right, so let me just go ahead and flick in a couple of, I'll blend that in a little better. Okay, now I need some white too, because I want to white down that. Dry, dry, dry brush. Now what I want to do is make some lighter orange here. And I might have to get a different brush for this. Don't know if I can touch it light enough with this. It's kind of white. It needs to be a little whiter. More white than orange. Because I just want a few highlighted hairs. Let me get a different brush. That one's a little wide. Hey, Pam. Twister. All right, so I'm just going to try to go in here with a few little highlights. And then, of course, he's going to have those long hairs coming over everything. After all this is dry and everything. But I want to get some of this in here. Just a few little touches. Need more white. There we go. Very gently. Oh, blend them out a little bit. Don't want them too, like, I want them more long and flowy than like porcupine looking. All right, just a few there. Because I'm gonna go in here and again with some color pencil. But I have to have something here for the pencil to show up on top of, in this case. All right. And I just go back and forth between color pencil and acrylic. I don't really have a method in the sense that, you know, you do only this first, then you go to that, then you go to this. It's back and forth. So I'll go back and forth between all the different things. And this is going to be the fur on top of his claws. I don't know if you can see his little claws there. Okay, so I think that might be good. For now. All right, a few up here in his, go back up here in his, and again, I'm going to have to go, if I'm painting over these long white hairs, I'll have to go put them back in. Just a few little color changes here. And then this is going to have white hairs coming out of his ears. I just put like a blue-gray there to have the white to go on top of so you'll see it. I think that's good for now. Because otherwise it's going to start looking like a different kind of fur. Hey, Z. Hey, Claire. Anybody else popping in? Okay, so let me dry this. Heat gun. Because I'm going to start putting some color pencil on there. And it has to be perfectly dry. And again, I only want to spend about an hour on this, so I want to get crack-a-lacking. Okay, so let me get my pencils. I kept all my same colors that I used on Saturday. Do I have a white? Where's my pencil sharpeners? Here they are. I don't want purple. Okay. The surface here, it's the Bristol, Strathmore Bristol. And this is for, making comics, actually. It's got the blue registration marks on it. But I'm not using it for that. I'm just using it because it's a nice piece of Bristol. I could have dug out another one. I just this one just happened to be right there. So and I'm not using it the full sheet. See, I'm not using it the full sheet. So, okay. So, let's go in here first. Let me go ahead and get some of this black little flicks of fur underneath here. Hope y'all can see. I think y'all can. I mean, I'm not doing the eyes right. I mean, I pretty much got the detail in the eyes done. I need just a little bit more blending in the eyes. But y'all saw me pretty much do that on, because I do want them pretty bright orange. And if you need a nice crisp black line, get in there with a pen if you need to. Like the pupils or something. I think I want to blend that white in just a little. It's not so harsh right underneath there. There we go, that's a little better. Might need a little bit more blue shadow. And I started to color around some of the eyes on Saturday, and then the recording stopped. So that's why I said I'd come back Monday and finish it up. Hey, Sherry. So I think I'm going to exaggerate some of those white hairs around the top of his, put white on top of this blue. So I think I'm going to exaggerate some of that too. And then I want a little bit more shadow around his little muzzle and on top of his nose, kind of set that nose back a little bit more. Okay, back to the black. So I'm just going to kind of flick some hairs out. Because this is just, and I'm thinking I might put stars in there. Because I don't really want this to define his body or anything. I really just want that to be like nondescript in there, because that's like the little door in there. And I don't really want his body parts to interfere with that concept. So I'm just going to do that, I think. Because I'm not putting a background, so that will give it a little something else. Now, I think I really do need to kind of work on his hands a little too. And I don't want to flick these hairs down into the water yet because I haven't done the water. You got to kind of go backwards if you're layering. You got to think of the back layer first. Even though sometimes I put other things on top of it for a stream just so that y'all can see what's going to happen. But I don't want this to start looking too dark right in here because it'll look angry. Like right there, that dark blue is almost too, let me just see, where's my, it's looking too dark right there, and it's going to look angry. Let me find a pencil here. I know I got one. Here we go. And you really can never fully erase color pencil, but you can take off a couple layers. And the best pencil that I found to do that is not the pencil, but the Ticonderoga black eraser. You can, that to me, that's what I have found. I mean, I'm not saying it's the only one. Don't email me. uh, but it will work. It'll take some off. You'll never get it back pure white. Don't get me wrong. But now that's going to have some more white painted over it because I got too much off. But see, I don't want him to look angry. Hey T, how you doing? All right, so again, if you're just coming in, thanks for being here Monday morning. I'm just going to spend about an hour finishing him up, hopefully about an hour, so we can do some other things too. And I got some paint there. I'll just have to paint over that white. Where's my brush? It's going to be covered up with hair anyway, but it's kind of bugging me. Okay. All right, so back down to his little fingers. Now this will probably be hard to see, but I need a nice sharp black, probably my pen as well, and maybe a gold pen too. Gold, maybe gold and silver. Let's see here. Let me get my tray over here. Not sure if it's in here. I cleaned everything up. Oh, here's silver. All right, hang on. Let me tell Denise. I'm streaming because, she doesn't know I stream on Mondays. Hey, I'm streaming. What's up? No, is something going on? Oh, okay. Is he home? Okay. All right. Bye. Okay. All right. So there's gold and that's white. I know I have I mean, that's silver. Where's my gold? They're like a white and a gold gel pen, but where did I put the gold one? So I think I'd rather have gold than silver for the most. Let's see. Uh-oh. All right, let's be in the other tray. Where is my gold? One moment, guys. I'm digging around here because I usually have them right together, and it's probably right in front of me, and I'm not seeing it. Well, let me look in my drawer over here. Okay, I put it back in the drawer where it's supposed to be. Okay. Hey, Lisa. They are, yes, Pentel Sunburst Metallic Gel, Silver, and Ditto the Gold. Okay. Now I have the white too, and the white works really well, but I can't find the white anywhere. So I just went on to the Jelly Roll Sakura Jelly Roll ones for white. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. They're in a set for like under $5 for two, maybe under $4. I don't remember. I've got a couple sets of them. And they're usually at when you go to check out on the end cap right there. When you go to check out the cash register, they're usually hanging there like these are. See, I bought another pack of jelly rolls too because they're right there when you check out. And it's like I haven't spent enough, so let's go ahead and pick something else up. Okay, so let me first. Oh, I was gonna get a black pen too. Hang on, for the black, I just like the Pit. I just like the Pit pens. Oh, come back here, Happy Mail stamp. All right, so this is just a medium Pit pen, Faber-Castell Pit. They're waterproof, so I like that. So I'm just going to come in here and I'll try to kind of watch. So you're probably not going to be able to see too much of this, but if I zoom in, it's just such a pain to try to get it to, not flash out. So I'm just going to kind of go in here a little bit with some detail right around like the little claws. And I could do this too with the color pencil real sharp. Got to keep your color pencils really sharp. But I mean, I might as well just go in here with the black, nice sharp pen. That's why they call it mixed media. Okay. Right underneath of the claw there. And it is going to be black on the other side, but I don't want it too harsh. So let me go back in there with the pencil around the edges. So this, I'll just have to hold it up because it's going to be tiny. Little detail here. And I think I want that to be gray. So we get around the little claws. I'll kind of fade it into some gray or something here. So let me just kind of finish sketching out the little dials. I don't know, can y'all see anything? Help me out here, because it's hard for me to tell what you can see. I'm going to turn this sideways to get this rounder. But at least y'all can kind of see where it's going. I don't know if I want to spend 3 hours on it today, but another gear over here, or some kind of dial, I should say. A dial there, and then the hand of the watch clock is going to come out that way. Another kind of thing there, maybe another something going on there. I'll just put a light little something there to get rid of the white. I think I want, let me go ahead and put a blue edge to start. Because we'll have this, I'm going to have water coming across here too. Like right on the edge here, I'm going to have some mist or some fog or something coming across there. So I've got to do that too. So I'm trying not to spend too much time on one section. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have an orange, some planet or something there. I need a little bit of a light cut around the edge. Some clouds. Maybe something dark. Where's my book? Going there with some paint. Same for this. I need to kind of thin up this watch hand here. All right, let's go back in here. I'm going to have hairs coming over the top of this. Just talking out loud. Is this the first poster collage you have produced? No. No. This one's not a collage. This one's just, there's no collage in this one. I probably have about 20. I've shown them on, I've shown quite a few of them. I've done some on stream. And then, but I've shown most of them at one time or another in flips, if you want to call it a flip, where I show them all. And then now I'm just taking just the animal and a little bit of the foreground from my original drawing and making it smaller. Oh, reproduce. No, it's not the first one. I just don't have time to do very many of them because I'm usually doing, portraits, either pet or people portraits. That's, my main thing I've been doing lately. So at least the last couple of years, I got back into doing them because my family, insisted. So, which I love doing them, but it's just not something that I can really do on stream. Commission portraits. I don't like to do people, their commissions, their personal photos and their personal, on stream. I do other people. I mean, I do like Darcy let us do her and Packer Dye and, stuff like that. But, yeah. All right, let's see here. I think this is going to need a little bit more of a edge. I just don't have the time or take the time. It's kind of like I'm going to have to do a lot of these or my portraits. And portraits pay. Portraits pay. And so I'm going to try to get some stuff up on Society 6 in the first of the year. So I'm going to try to do more of these for that. But I have to consider that too. Because, I stream and do all this for free. So my family really does, doesn't like that I do so much for free. Yeah. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. Yeah. So I have to consider doing some more of these and selling them, or less of these and stick with my portraits, which people do buy. Whether it be their animals or their, loved ones that they want portraits of. Okay, so let's see here. Little dials with some sort in there. Okay. Let's get a little more depth around those claws. And let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and go in here with some yellow ochre to give it a little, I want to start making them look metallic. Let's kind of color that in a little. And then the claws, I'll put a little bit of shading of, because they're going to be white, but they still are going to have some shading inside the little holes there. It wouldn't be white, it would be like shadowed. Well, you probably can't see it. Okay, so now I want to start doing start on some little gears or something here. Okay, let's see here. Definitely you won't be able to see this till I hold it up, but it's tiny. And there are going to be some little mechanical things and not anything real distinct, but I want you to be able to tell that there's some kind of gears or something in there. Maybe this one can go this way. I want them all a little different. a couple of the darker ones in there. Go in there with some gold and white. Silver, maybe a little silver. All right. Get it working. There we go. I just want them each to look a little bit individual. So different little cogs and little things sticking out. Too thick. As you can see, they're starting to. Okay, but I also, now that they're like started, let me get some white things in there. Let me kind of sharpen his little claw here. I'm going to shade a little bit on the sides here so that it's not all the same tone around the edges. Come on, get going there. It does take time to do little things like this, and it does take time, and you can't see it on stream, but now let me dry that because I don't want to hit it with any kind of pencil till that ink is dry. Uh-oh, I want my pictures over the edge. Okay. I'm not looking at chat, so hang on, guys. I think I want a little bit, maybe a red in there. I don't know. See, it's starting to take shape. But I want the sides to be, what's a darker gray? Here we go. I want a shadow under the claw. This one's not sharp enough. Get a red or a, that's too orange. Ugh. me get a little area done so you see something sort of kind of finished. I said I was going to finish this today, but it's not going to happen in an hour because I'm getting bogged down in the details. Hi, Gina. I think I saw Wee Hootie. Thanks, guys, for being here, everyone. Anyone I missed? Okay, so I just want to get some other color in here so that I can get to my dark gray and start shadowing the bottom underneath the claw. And again, this one's not white enough. I hope my head's not in the way. Holding my breath. Okay, so underneath of it, it's a little darker, and the sides are going to be darker. So I kind of shade those in. Something like that. Might not be able to tell. It might need to be even a little darker. A little darker shadow. Okay, it's getting there. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. This side's too fat. It needs to be thinner. You wouldn't see that much of it on that side. Thanks, guys. All right, so gotta finish all this because I want these. Okay, so you have to think. You have to do it backwards. Like I can, but I'd have to repaint it. I can do it to show you guys, but I don't want to put the hands of the watch clock on here until I finish all this, because then I have to try to paint around it like I did here, and I don't like trying to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and put in our little bluffs, or whatever they are, like the little, almost kind of like the Utah red cliff thingies. I'm just going to kind of sort of indicate that. I'm not trying to make it. It's essence of cliffs. Essence of cliffs in there. And I want some little foggy stuff in there too, so it doesn't have to be, like I don't have to get every single one in here because it's going to have fog in there. But I just kind of want to sort of indicate it. Let's have one a little darker. Just get some color on there. They look so lifelike. And again, I hate to put too many of the hands and things like that in there until I get all these little gears and stuff done, which does take a little bit of time. Oh, let's go ahead and let's do some gold. First. I don't want them to be, I like things to be sort of there and not there. So I can kind of fade some of it out. And then maybe a couple of square ones here. not trying to make it like a perfect watch like we have, because in his world, time is different. Time's different in his world. Okay. And then maybe some silver. I'll check chat here in a second, guys. I want to kind of get some of this in. Come a little darker areas of the pen. I see a face. Again, there's going to be stuff coming over that, so. Give it some layers of, Just don't really have to see everything going on in there. Leave it to your imagination as much as possible. Okay, let's go back in with some. Let's go in the All right, because I don't want it to get too much, because I'm going to cover a lot of this up. Let me get my silver. Essence of stuff in there. Oh my God. All right, let me get this done so I can put the hands and all that, because then I can get farther along. All right, let's see. Okay, back over here, I just want a little bit more. I think I want some of his fur. Hang on, let me get some of black. I think I'm going to have just a little bit of his fur kind of coming over the edge here. barely touching a very dry brush, just kind of flicking a few little furs out there. Hey, Blondie. Hey, I found you, Dee Dee. All right, let me go ahead and do this in here. It's my blue. So I can, I need that done. All right, let me put out a little blue here. Get a baby wipe. Oh, don't want to bump my head on the overhang. All right, so let's see here. Let's just go in with a little blue, a little bit of an orange. Not too much because I want it more, I want it to look watery. And I'm going to crop it here anyway, so it doesn't matter about these edges because I'm going to cut this off right here. Well, I mean, not literally cut it off, but like crop it in the camera. Okay, so now let's see. I want some fog and stuff. So let me go ahead. I'm going to pick up some white and kind of get very little on the baby wipe, okay? And I want to kind of fog this in. I need a little bit more. I want this to be foggy in there. Maybe a little foggy coming out like that. Right, kind of over the, because this is going to have like that. It's going to come over. Okay. I feel a sneeze coming on. Hang on, guys. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, so I just want a little bit of something going on in there. Maybe a little bit in the clouds too. Maybe a little wisping out. Like that. And maybe have this real sharp right there on that edge. Like that. All right, now I need a brush. Maybe a little blue in there too. Let's kind of soften it up. Not real soft. Misty. All right, now a little bit more softness here. Very soft and misty. Not going to have any waves or anything like that. Just want it real soft. Now I'll go back in here with some bright white highlights. But do those little details like in the fur on the globe really put the piece together? Yes, and I'm not even done. I'm going to have the white fur and all that I had to paint over some. But I'm getting there. I'm kind of trying to hurry, but not trying to hurry. You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, let me dry this. And see, I still have to do more detail in there, but I also have to do this. I'm going to turn this upside down so I can get at this and get it even. Where's my temple? Here. Oh. Get a nice round, because that'll be really obvious if it's not when you look at it. Oops, so I go out of the line there and make it uneven again. Oh well. Because I want to get those hands in there, those watch hands. All right, so let me go ahead and start doing some detail up here. Again, I'm going to have some kind of a something going on here, and a little something going on there. That'll be good right there. On there. Some dials and things. Again, his time doesn't have to be like ours. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm not talking much. Can't talk, arting. Okay, so here we go. So you can see where things aren't round and stuff when you look at it in the camera. Okay, now what I want to do is, where's the straight edge? Sometimes I just do this freehand, but I'm going to go ahead and just do it with the okay, this one's not straight. Where's my Ticonderoga? Way here. Well, let's just go ahead and have 3. All right, so now what I'll do is, I don't know, take a piece of wood. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and, because it's going to end right here, I'm going to crop it right there on this line here. So, but I want to get the dark hands here. I'll put a highlight on them. Make that one look like it's coming out of the middle there with just a little bit of a little thing where it, like that. Then I'll put a little high. I'm having to turn this, guys. I have to. Can't get these lines straight if I don't have a, you know, a pull thing here going. Okay. Let's see. A little bit more detail. Okay. I'm trying to get crack-a-lack in here because I still got to do the fur. All right, so, and to finish this up here too. Okay, so now let's see. I want a couple more little details kind of fading out in there. Same for under here. You might just see a couple through the water. Maybe a couple more little dials or something right in there. Let's get those claws, claw shape. I kind of lost some of the claw shape of some of them. And then, where's my... Okay, I need some more white. All right, before I do that, let me go ahead and do the... No, I need to do the white first. Okay. So, let me just get a little bit. I need more. Just kind of some little few little streaks. I turn it upside down so I can see if they're straighter. How straight down. I mean, they can be a little bit wavy as long as they're going, you know, parallel there. Something's right there. I just can't go a day. I got lots of recordings. It's not like, I'm sure you haven't seen all, I mean, I don't even know how many hours I've got accumulated in the last year uploaded to YouTube. All right, so there we go. I think we're going to go with that for now. I still want a little bit more mist back in there, though. Let's see. And then I got to do the hands, and then the fur, and then I'm done. That's too round right there. I don't know what that is. Since I don't know what it is, it needs to go. Something too round. I don't want it to look like there's something there. Okay. So just a little bit more misty stuff here. Like that. Shh. Very, very gently. Very gently. We want it brighter, but we don't want it a wave. I don't want it a wave. Hey, Linda Stonybrook. Anybody else popping in? I think I said hi to Blondie. Okay, I think I'm going to stop because this is going to be cut right there. When I say cut, like, again, I don't mean cut like physically with the scissors. I mean, it's going to be like, I'll photograph it and cut it off there and there. Okay, so now let me go ahead and dry this again, and I'll put some stars, some fur. I'm over an hour, but hey. Okay, where's my pen, my template, because I might as well go for the template since it's easy. Get a nice straight line here. Like I said, most times I just freehand it. That's not, I don't need my pencil. I'm going to need it thicker anyway, so sharpen. So this is why I had to have whatever, the claws and everything else done. Because see, I'm going right over the top of them. And I think I'm going to have another dial coming out of this one kind of down. Let me look. I want it to look visually nice. I think we'll do that. Maybe a small one too. Okay, I like that. Okay, so now let me kind of thicken it up just a little here. And a little here. Cover up the weird white part right there. Some blue. Put a highlight on it. Sorry, I'm groaning, aren't I? Holding my breath. That's what Hubster says. You're groaning. I'm just going, It's because I'm holding my breath. Hey, Vicky. How you doing? Good to see you. I cut you out something this morning. I'll show you. Where is it? This is coming to you, Vicky. Okay, let's see. I think I want just a couple of little rays coming off here. I don't want this to detract because I'm going to be having beard issues here. Maybe just a couple little things. Little cliffs there. Just a couple little something going on. Oops, no one's going on. Right behind that fog there. A little there, a little darker here. Something like that. Okay. This one's bugging me. It's too obvious. It's too obvious right there. Let's get rid of that one. Okay, happier. Okay. So, all right, let's get with the fur. Let's get crack-a-lacking with the fur, and then we're going to stop. And I might end up adding a few little, the stars. Dang. Now I could splatter some paint on here, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and quickly add the stars with the gel pen. It's quicker just to do it with, and I think I'll put one shooting star right here. Let's do one shooting star. Go right over his fur. We got all these lines going every which way. It's probably not very compositionally, it's probably going a little wild on the composition, but hey. Maybe one or two little something going on inside there. But I have to get all this background stuff done. I like to get it done before I start putting. So a couple extra big ones there. But when you splatter it, it looks a little bit more natural. Because you'll have all different kinds of little, weird things going on if you splatter rather than doing it with a gel pen. But, all right, well, that's good. All right, let me dry that. Yes, only Southerners can make the word dang 2 syllables. That's true. Dang. That's what Hubster says. Well, you know what they say. And I went, dang. I'll put a couple more down here. Okay, now this needs just a little bit more of a highlight, just a little bit. That. Okay. I like it. Needs a little bit more brightness right there. Just a touch of brightness. Maybe a couple of little somethings right there. It's got a little dull spot right there. Needed something. Okay. Hey, Rain. Anybody else popping in? Okay, now it's time for the hairs. Let's go ahead. Oh, no, it's not. Dang! I need to do some more shading. Okay, so I need to put a little bit more shading where some of the white is, and because I want to have that little bit of extra darkness under the fur. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit more back in. Here and there, because then once I don't want to have to do it again. This is going to be the third time that I'm going back over the white hairs. All right, so now I'm going to get a little orange, a little brighter orange in there too. All right, what's going to have to do a little brighter here because this is where those other hairs are going to come over that. Okay. All right, I'll stop. I gotta stop. Hey, CB. All right, so now I'm going to grab a blob of white, add a little water in there to kind of make it like almost like an inky consistency, but I still want it opaque. I don't want it see-through. All right, so let's go ahead and start at the top. Let's start around his eyes. Thanks, guys. I'm going to try to finish it up so we can do another project. I'll stop the recording. So now you're just going to see me flicking hairs and kind of making sure none of them are too harsh. I want to do either the peacock poster, and again, I know I probably won't finish it. I'll take a quick break after I do this and go get some coffee. And then we'll either do a Game of Thrones page, color book page, or that peacock poster. Haven't decided yet. Okay, so now I'm trying to just kind of make this really look like it's, kind of blended in there. Like there's some little hairs there, and then we'll have some long ones too. And then they'll have a few coming this way too, but I gotta kind of be careful going that direction. And then around the little, real carefully, around the little muzzle. I gotta turn it, guys. I gotta get up in here. I have to turn it to get the direction going the right way. And again, there's that one little spot that's a little dark orange that I don't want it to look angry, so I'm going to cover that up. And you can spend a lot of time doing all this. Okay, so let's get a couple of nice bright ones. Now let's go back to the ones that we've covered up here. Oh. Let's see, I better do these up here first. I gotta do these up here. Need a little bit more water. It's starting to dry out. I'll get in here, probably clean that up a little bit better in there. I want this one to look like it's coming, you know, that little black area is a little covered there. I hope I'm staying in camera. All right, now what I want to do is have just a couple of these ear hairs kind of like coming down like that. That one bugs me. I want it messy, like he's got a lot of hair going on. Got a lot of hair going on. Okay, so now he's got these long eyebrow ones here. A couple of those going this way. That's too thick. If I get one that I don't really like, I can go back in there when it's dry, like with the orange, and kind of, you know, lighten it out so it's not so harsh. And I want a couple just coming up. Very thin ones. You probably won't be able to see these on camera, but I want a few very, very thin ones. Like that. And then I just want a couple extra thin ones, maybe flicking kind of sideways. Because if you cross the hairs like that, it makes it a little more realistic. Okay, now. I'm just pulling it off my hand here. Because I got to do his little hand here too. I think on this case I should pull in from the white, because then I don't have any harsh lines when they're pulled in from the white, because I don't have anything on the background. This needs to be fixed right there. Some of this, I need more hairs in here. Okay, I need a little bit more paint, a little bit more water. See, if this had a background on it, I wouldn't be starting from this side and pulling in, because you would see that harsh line where I touched and dragged. But since it's all white here, I'm just, I have to worry about that with the background. So I'm just fluffing up some fur here. A few little brighter ones. And now what I want to do is down here, I want this to kind of come into the water. Just gotta be careful on the edges. Same for over here. I want a few little fur hairs coming into the water. And then for the final, we're going to put the little hairs on top here. Be careful where they end. I mean, where they pull from. Okay, and then a few that are coming right over the gears. Kind of messy, because it's this little top of his hand thing there. Something like that. I think that might be enough. Might be enough. Because I don't want to lose that as the top of his hand. His hairy hand. Like that. Dee, it looks wonderful. You have named him yet? You have no name for him yet? No name for him yet. Okay, let me go ahead and see. Let me sharpen a pencil here. I'll sign him. I'll sign him over here. Crumbly pencils. Okay. All right. And again, I want the background to be nothing, so I can do things with the background. Like digitally, I can, do whatever I want in the background. I might still need to go in here with a few more, flicks of some more stuff. But I think you get the idea, pretty much. Needs a little bit more, something in there. A little shadow maybe, a little more. Again, I see that this needs a little bit more feathery, a little harsh right there on his eye. But okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm going to stop this recording and I'm going to go ahead and start another one. There's a little bit more orange over there. And we'll do something else. Okay, so let's see. So I hope y'all have any questions or anything before I go on this segment. I'm not going to go. I'm just going to stop this recording and save it and start another one. But if y'all have any questions, my foxy red panda, yeah. Just a touch orange there. See, I can fiddle all day. I can fiddle. I can sit here and fiddle. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to give y'all one more quick look at him. What kind of paper? It is Bristol. It's just this Strathmore Bristol Smooth. And this is like the comic book kind of Bristol pad, but I'm not using it for that. I just got a good sale on it. So picked it up because it's Bristol, and it has the registration lines on it that I totally ignore. But anyway, so there we go, guys. Okay, so I'm going to save this. It took me a little 30 minutes longer than I thought. It took almost an hour and a half, but to finish. Thanks, Rain. Yeah, I got to get those details. And then if I want, I mean, I still might even go back in there and get a little bit more shadows and a little bit more, around some of these gears and stuff, give it a little bit more contrast and around his claws and things. So I didn't spend a lot of time on this area like I probably should, you know, get in there and do more whatnot. All right, so hang on, guys, and I'll be right back.